G'day everyone, Steve from the Parent Rebellion here. Just on the back of my post that you would have seen last night regarding the terminology too hard on your kids and what that means. As I wrote, there are many definitions of the word hard, and in my opinion, referring to being too hard on your kids isn't necessarily a negative. What I mean by that is we're often too soft on our kids, and that can lead us to a belief that if we go in the opposite direction, we're being too hard. Again, hard has many interpretations, many definitions. The one that I interpret is that it's about instilling discipline, respect, manners, things like that in your children, so that we allow them to grow independently and understand that life isn't easy and that we don't get everything we want in life. My personal experience has been that when we continue to say yes, we then set our kids up for failure and in actual fact, potential harm. We're harming them by giving in to everything they want, by giving in to every little tantrum, by never saying no. I always said I never wanted my daughters to hear the word no from someone outside our own home. And if that's what's happening to our children today, what we're doing is, as I said, we're setting them up for failure and we're actually harming them because we have a very fragile demographic these days of children with anxiety and depression and the like that we didn't necessarily experience in my time. And I'm 54 now as of last week. I had to think about that. So I'm not coming from the angle of back in my day, we got the wooden spoon and the jug cord across the back of the legs. Look, I never got any of that. I didn't need it. I just knew what was right from wrong. And my parents would never have put up with that crap. So where I'm going with this is that, and the reason I say it's harmful is because when our children go out into the big bad world, which inevitably they will do someday, and someone says no to them for the first time, or they don't get what they want, they're not going to be used to responding to that. And that's where we're going to see meltdowns and we're going to see an increase in anxiety because they have no resilience. They've never been told no. They've never had to wait for something. And here's the kicker. We say, and I've done it myself, I don't want to see my kids suffer. But you know what? Saying no, not giving them everything they want isn't suffering. Children starving in Africa is suffering. People living under a bridge, homeless, without food, that's suffering. What we're actually saying is we just don't want to disappoint our kids. We don't want to be the bad guy. That's what it really is. And that might be a hard thing to hear, but your kids aren't suffering by saying, you can't have that. I'm not putting up with that. You will go and put your things away. You will make your bed. You will put your dishes in the sink. These are the sorts of things I'm talking about. And because we don't do it, again, we set them up for failure. We're not always going to be here, people. Stop and have a think about how our kids are going to survive in a world without us, because we won't always be here to rescue them. And that's another thing I want to raise. Protect your kids. Support your kids. That's what you should be doing as a good parent. But stop rescuing them. Stop being there to catch them when they fall. Let them fall out of a tree. Let them fall over and skin their knees. Let them play sport. Let them do those things. Stop protecting them because ultimately you are harming them. Just something to think about. Cheers.